Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Lime Slimes Co., which I know I do them probably more than any shop ever, but I had actually won a giveaway from them, so I was like, okay, it's a sign I have to, right? The universe is telling me to. It was meant to be, so here's another review for this absolutely amazing shop. Besides the slimes, I was also sent this package of extras, which does include a candy, which is one of my favorites. I always love when I get these in the packages because they taste so good and I always eat them. Even before I do the review, I just can't resist. They also sent their cute business card with all their information and some borax, which is labeled. And here are the slimes. I purchased a total of 3 slimes. They all come in these 7-ounce screw top lid containers with their slime shop logo on the top and the slime name on the side. Starting off the review, this is whipped Shamrock foam. It is their whipped foam texture, which is a wood glue puff texture. It is scented like Shamrock Shake and comes with assorted phemos, sequins, and a cherry charm. I would say the scent for this one does actually smell pretty accurate to the real thing. To me, it smells like sweet mint with a hint of chocolate, which is where it differs just slightly, but I would say it's really close, and I do mention it quite often. Scents can be extremely hard to get correct, so for it to be almost spot on is really amazing. And of course it smells amazing. Anytime Shamrock Shakes are available for purchase, which is obviously only 1 month out of the year, I get at least 4 or 5 of them. I know they're probably not the best for you, but they're just so good. I know a lot of people don't like mint, but I don't know. They're iconic, they're good, and just only slightly addicting. The texture itself is very puffy and silky. It does start off slightly wet, but that does diminish very quickly as soon as you just mix it together. It's really just the top, which does happen with a lot of slimes. If you have anything in it that's going to give it that wet residue. I know some foaming hand soaps can do that, instant snow can do that. It's just something that you just have to mix back into the slime. This is definitely one of those versatility type of slimes where you can really do anything with it. It's holdable, spreadable, you can use it for table play or couch play. It's really not going to stick to you too bad. It inflates, it's got bubble pops, clicks, all those things. So if you really don't know what kind of slime you want to go for, you want to try one that's kind of got pretty much any aspect of a slime, this would definitely be one of those because it just seems to do just about everything. This slime inflates pretty easily and becomes sizzly and even more puffy than its original texture. It becomes super soft and light, just really easy on the hands, and it feels just so very relaxing, I guess. It does deflate insanely quickly. I will say that after a few just scrunches or whatever you want to call that, it's pretty much back down to its original size. So if you want to try out inflation but you don't like having the slime just sit there and overflow out of the container, this one would be a good one. I will say it's a little bit of a cautionary thing. Usually slimes that deflate that quickly, eventually over time, the more you play with it, is going to also just start to deflate in the container, so you're gonna have less and less, which is normal with slimes. I've just seen ones that deflate really quickly do that a lot faster, if that makes sense. So you might lose out on more slime in the long run. It's really hard to explain, but it's not a huge deal. It happens. It's just something that I wanted to mention. I can see why this shop's foam texture is one of their more popular ones. It is such a fun slime to play with, and this one is definitely getting 5 out of 5 pajamas. Second slime for review is Cherry Blossom Garden. This is a white glue snow fizz and bingsu slime scented lightly like cherry blossom. It comes with a shovel charm, a pink flower charm, cherry blossom phemos, and sequins. Just as described, it is scented like cherry blossom. It is definitely on the lighter side, which I always prefer more scented ones. But this is a good alternative for people who don't like those strong scents, whether it gives them headaches or they just, prefer a lighter one. And it's not too light to the point where you just smell glue as well. You still do smell the scent and really nothing else, but it's not overpowering. The add-ins and the color for this slime are everything. They are so perfect, remind me exactly of a Cherry Blossom Garden. The add-ins are such a cute touch, and it's just, everything about this one is so perfect. I could be a little biased because I've mentioned before cherry blossoms are my favorite and they just look so pretty, but I think that they encaptured the theme of this slime more than perfect. This slime does start out with a slippery kind of feel to it, kind of like the last one, but more slippery than wet. But it does go away as soon as you mix it together. I'm not really sure what caused it in this one, but it is pretty common in a lot of slimes. You just kind of have to mix it and then it's gone. This slime is definitely more on the packed side of a crunchy slime, but it still has a really good stretch to it considering how packed it is. It is really fun to squish, and I like to mention it anytime I have like a Snow Fizz based slime. It really feels like a massage, like as you're crunching it or like spreading it around or whatever. It just feels so nice on your hands. I don't have the most sensitive hands in the world, so maybe for some people it doesn't feel like a massage. It feels like more like stinging, but at least for me it feels nice. I also love the bingsu beads in here. There aren't too many, but it definitely still adds that extra layer of crunch to it and makes it even more loud. Once you inflate it, it does become sizzly, bubbly, light, and crispy, and definitely has some of the best ASMR I've heard from a crunchy slime in quite some time. It is perfect. I love the way it sounds. Crunchy slimes are notorious for leaving residue or being tacky, but this one stays completely non-tacky even when fully inflated, and it only leaves a slight amount of residue. Like, that is so awesome. I really wish I knew how they did that because I can't seem to do it myself and it's bothering me, but this one is just so nice. I know I already talked about it, but I keep finding myself like just thinking about how perfect this slime is and how well everything comes together with this one, and it's just like a perfect example that the texture isn't always everything. Obviously, it's the biggest part of a slime. You always want to enjoy the texture, but like if you're really thinking about the color, the add-ins, the scent, and everything, it can just paint a picture for your buyers and everything, and that is just one of my favorite parts. I know that's so opinionated, and I really hope a lot of people feel the same because it's so nice when a slime just seems to be so well thought out and put together. This one is also getting 5 out of 5 pajamas. Last for this review is Forest Box Cake. This is a DIY clay slime that is scented like cookies and cream cake. It comes with a box cake clay piece, some assorted Fimos, and a random frog charm. So the scent for this one is 100% accurate. It's a little light, kind of, but I know I've mentioned it probably anytime I have like a cookies and cream Oreo type of scent going on. They just don't seem to come through slimes very well. I don't know if everyone's just happen to be using the same brand or just something about that scent is just cursed, but it doesn't seem to come through very well. But it is probably one of the better ones that I've smelled in a long time. Usually they're super light and you can still smell the glue. I almost said the slime. Of course you can smell the slime, but you can still smell the glue, but at least in this one doesn't happen really at all. So this one smells amazing, and of course, like I said, just exactly as described. The base is a slight jiggly and super glossy slime. It even feels coated, so before I even put this together, I knew it was going to be a good DIY. I just personally like the ones that come with a thinner base to them. They just seem to turn out better in my opinion. Of course, I like pretty much any DIY clay because they're just so fun to do, but one of my favorite ones is when the base is on the thinner side. The clay cake that you get to add on top is absolutely adorable. I love everything about it. The add-ins again feel like they're really well thought out, and I think they go with the slime super well. The frog charm is adorable. It just looks so cute, and I really love the one I got, and assembling it was really fun, and mixing it together was super easy as well. The clay was extremely soft, and I liked how much clay there was. Like, there was a huge amount, and I always like just squishing giant amounts of clay, so this was extremely satisfying. Once the clay fully mixes in, the slime turns into a smooth and creamy clay slime with really good pokes and bubble pops, and because the clay is super soft, the clay slime result is also super soft. The slime also inflates a huge amount, which you guys are going to see. It surprised me how much it actually inflated, just because like this slime, like I mentioned, has good pokes and bubble pops, so it kind of has the traits of like a dense clay slime. Even though it's not dense, it's actually extremely light. So I don't know, it shocked me so much that it inflates like an insane amount. And once it does inflate, it becomes ultra light and bubbly, and it leaves no residue. You can kind of see my hands sticking here as I'm playing with it, but that's just because I failed to fully activate it. It's just kind of hard to tell when you're playing with clay slimes, and I usually don't mess with activation until like later because it's just so hard to tell if certain slimes need activation. So that's why it is slightly sticking here, but I promise it doesn't leave any residue or anything like that. It is perfect, and it is just such a fun texture to play with. I'm really obsessed with this one. It is chef's kiss. It is amazing. I will say it does leave some slight color on your hands. At least it did for me. That is pretty normal with slimes that have like a more vibrant color to them. Like this one, all you have to do is just wash it and it will come right off. This one also gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. And with that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, comment down below what your favorite slime shop is, because clearly everybody can tell who my favorite is, so I want to know your guys' favorites. Anytime you guys suggest slime shops, I always check them out because I just want to see what you guys are talking about. I want to see what the hype is about. So if you show me your favorite slime shops, I will definitely check them out. Now I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.